Ricciardo in 2021, Gasly in 2020, Vettel in 2008. Monza is no stranger to an upset Formula One victory. But did you know this is more than just by chance? I'm Ewan, and this is why Monza is the perfect track for a surprise winner. The first and most important reason for this is how unique Monza is, with its long straights, high speeds, and heavy braking zones. Since the hybrid power units were introduced in 2014, Monza has required teams to run a unique package, which means the pecking order can be turned on its head. It's often forgotten, but Ricciardo was already ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen on pace when they tangled at turn 2 in 2021. That year, the McLaren just clicked around the Temple of Speed, and they were able to take their first win in 9 years. This time around, sorry Papaya fans, but your hopes probably shouldn't be quite so high. The closest circuit to Monza is Montreal, so if you did well in Canada, you can probably hope to do alright this weekend. It's one thing having a quick car, but it's another to capitalise on it in qualifying, which at Monza is the most tactical of any on the calendar. Rules are in place to stop 2019 levels of chaos from repeating itself, but expect people to get clever in the hunt for a slipstream, which can always mix up the grid. This relies on strong coordination between a driver and their team, and Monza is always the best weekend to be the driver with the first choice on who leaves the garage first. Turn 1 at Monza is one of the most chaotic corners on the calendar, with a long and relatively narrow run from the start line to a heavy braking zone, often leading to contact. Take the recent World Endurance Championship round, where the top two in the championship touched one another. The long run also puts a big emphasis on getting a good start, as otherwise you'll get swamped by the time you get to the first turn. Again, see Danny Rick passing Verstappen in 2021. He got a better launch, got alongside, and had the inside for the first corner. And the first lap opportunities don't stop there, with a chance to carry it around the outside and stay ahead into turn 2, and the run to turn 4 is also an overtaking chance that can often end in disaster. Completing lap 1 here undelayed shouldn't be underrated. Sadly, Monza is no stranger to red flags and big accidents, which does play into the strategy. With a narrow pit lane running alongside one of the sport's quickest straights, Monza has one of the biggest pit deltas on the calendar at around 24 seconds. This makes going long on your first stint and praying for a virtual safety car a solid strategy choice, whilst a well-timed red flag was what enabled Gasly to win in 2020. And last but not least, the last reason Monza is good for an upset is that with the modern cars, overtaking has proven difficult here. This is because the cars are running as trimmed out as possible, making DRS relatively weak. Sure, this doesn't help provide an exciting race necessarily, but it does help a slower car which benefited from anything we've already mentioned to keep the top runners behind. Monza is one of the best chances remaining for a team to stop Red Bull from sweeping the season, but a record 10th win in a row for Super Max is still the most likely scenario this weekend. The problem for anyone who isn't Max Verstappen or Checo Perez is what makes Monza unique also plays to their strengths. Rocket in a straight line? Check. Great strategy team? Check. The goal for their rivals has to be preventing the front row lockout, getting ahead into turn 1, and trying to take it from there. Who do you think is going to win the Italian Grand Prix? And can anyone stop Red Bull? Please let me know in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, why not press that like button and subscribe to the channel? It really helps me out.